Hey there. Welcome. As always, this is another edition of Reeves' Point of View. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you will enjoy today's topic. All right, so I want to talk to you about don't let the internet keep you from doing what you do best in real life. And here's why I say that. One of the things that we often overlook is that with the advent of the internet, it makes it possible for us to do a lot of things. I hate to say behind the cover of the internet because that implies that it's kind of hiding you or cloaking you. But the reality is that you lose a lot of the things that you engage in real life if you kind of spend all of your energy on the internet. Let me give you a great example. So back in 2007, I had the opportunity to mentor some young guys at a local university. And I still remember them making the comment to me about how they promoted their parties. Well, one of the ways they did it was because it was the use of Facebook. Facebook was a very prominent means, and still is, prominent means of being able to connect to groups of people in different areas in real time very fast. And so I remember they turned to me and they asked me the question. They were like, "Hey, Brother Reeves," because these were young fraternity brothers of mine, "when you were our age, how did you promote parties?" I said, "Flyers." And at first they laughed. And so as they laughed, I had to remind them. I said, here's what you fail to realize. This is where you lose out when you rely solely on the internet. First, in order for us to engage individuals, we had to basically create the documents. Same thing with the internet, same thing with computers. But we had to physically go to these locations. It wasn't like we were faxing them to friends or emailing them to people. We had to physically go to the dorms, ask for permission from the floor monitors or the residence assistants or the hall director to allow us permission to post in the dorms. If we couldn't go there, we would go to Student Life, and then basically it had a stamp that they would put on the flyers that said, yeah, you could post these through the campus. We would go literally to the dorms. We would post them in the dorms in order to do so. The girls' dorm was a little tricky. We used that to hand them to our female friends, but we had a lot of co-ed dorms. And so we would go and post them, and guess what would end up happening? You post them, and then all of a sudden, people start seeing what you post, and they start engaging you. They want to know, hey, what's this about? What's going on? So now you're forced to have to explain what you're doing beyond what they're seeing on the flyer. And so guess what? Now you're engaging people, you're inviting them, you're interacting with them, socializing with them, and giving them a reason to commit to participating in the event. And so we would do that. We would also get on the phone and we would call our counterparts in different parts of the country, different parts of the state, So for instance, I went to school at the University of South Florida in graduate school, but undergrad at the University of Tampa. I pledged at the University of South Florida. We had neighboring chapters of fraternity brothers that were particularly close to us. There was St. Leo College, which is about 27 miles away, had a chapter. There was a fraternity chapter at the University of Florida, which was about, say, roughly 2 hours away. And then we had another chapter at the University of Central Florida, was an hour and a half away. We would notify them that we were having a party, typically on a Friday night and so forth. And guess what would happen? They would come. And guess what they would do? They would bring people with them. And guess what would happen on our campus? When they, of course, we all, you see the same people all the time when you're in college. But when you find out that other schools are coming over, guess what? We had a groundswell of students who would come because guess what? The young ladies want to see the guys from the different schools. Guys want to see the young ladies. All in all, the best part about this exercise is that it forced us to network. It forced us to engage. It forced us to establish relationships. And guess what? When we invited them, guess what they did in return? They invited us. So we regularly made trips to University of Florida in Gainesville. We made trips to Dade City, which is where St. Leo was. We made trips to Orlando, which is where University of Central Florida was. And by doing this, you establish relationships. You do things so that when you say, hey, this is what we got going on, people jump. As opposed to merely trusting that just by posting on a website, posting in a social media group, posting some pictures and so forth or videos, that's automatically going to entice people to come. Why am I giving you this example? Because way too many people get lost in the translation of doing so much online that they forget about the skills that they have that they can utilize in real life. So I tell people whenever I'm talking to them about juggling your life between your digital world and your real life world, to not allow yourself to get so absorbed in the world that is the internet that you forget and you hide the fact that you've got skills that you can utilize in real life that can be beneficial to you in ways that even you didn't appreciate. All right, everyone. I want to thank you again for taking the opportunity to join me for another edition, of course, to this, gotta love it, to another edition of this Reeves Point of View. As always, if you have any questions or concerns, you know where you can find me. I'm always here and readily available to you on AnthonyReeves.com. And as always, I have to ask the magical question to you. Are you ready for the Anthony Reeves experience?